So you're both crashers. How is that experience going so far?
It's unreal. It's rapid fire. It is so much information and excitement and energy, and I've already gotten to take a selfie with Jim Nussle. And it's the first day.
Yeah.
It's the first day I've already had my selfie with Jim Nussle, so it's been great.
Now.
I can, pretty much.
Yeah.
This is the last thing I'm doing, then I'm going home. No. Just to see that excitement and that buzz, especially with young professionals like ourselves and so many others that are like-minded, you feel good about credit unions as a whole. You feel good about the movement, and that it's going to go on through the generations, and it's not going to just stop. It's not going to lose steam. If anything, it's just getting started into something huge.
So you want to get out of the conference?
I think I want to more fully develop the value proposition of the industry, understand how advocacy, what the end result of that is, what we're after in the branch level where we're sitting at a desk, what our goals are, what will that look like to a member in the future? What are we going for? So I think getting a 30,000 foot view of the issues, and then going back to the branches and boiling it down to, this is going to translate to actually changing disclosures or lessening the process for completing paperwork for residential loan applications, etc. So to kind of make those hardwired connections that I've been focusing just in the last 2.5 years that I've been with the movement on the operational aspects of it, I kind of had my head down in that arena, so I'm kind of getting the panorama now from a larger point of view, which is really, it's nice to make a connection. It makes it feel more rewarding when we do see changes. Yeah.
So you had a session today. I think CUNA President Jim Nussle stopped by. Can you tell me what that was like, what the session was all about?
It really, and not that he wasn't human already to me, just because, following him and seeing how active he is, but it humanized him even more. It just, it was very relaxed. It was very inspiring, and talking to us about mentors and finding those people and asking. And then he asked for questions, and immediately somebody said, "Will you be my mentor?" He said, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
And it wasn't a joke. It was
a
legit
his business card.
Yeah, it was a legit, heartfelt kind of thing. And he recognizes and he sees the importance of what it is that we're here to do. It's not that we're trying to come in and say, hey, we know better. It's just we know different. We're from a different generation. So that's what we're trying to bring to the movement, and it's so important to have that. I think to have the people with the experience that have been here for a while, and then to connect that with the people that are just coming in, because what we can do together is going to be so much better than what we could do on our own.
It's just a validation of our efforts. I'm sure you've worked just as hard as I have at being genuine and transparent and having pure energy into something, and then seeing a return on that, where it's not set aside, it's not expected, it's rewarded in a way that's tangible, and you can see progress from your effort.
Yeah.
So to be inside an industry that says, thank you for your efforts, we will validate those. It adds fuel to the fire of making as much impact as we can while we're here. Yep.
And what advice would you offer other young credit union leaders?
It would be to raise your hand more, to ask questions, to reach out to people. When I first started in the credit union space, I knew a gentleman who I ended up, when he retired, I took over at that credit union and fell into that position. But I reached out to him because I knew he has been here. He's had done this for a dozen years, and I knew that I didn't understand the industry fully, and that he did. And so we would sit down at Starbucks, and it was great because I went into it wanting to get out of it more knowledge and everything else, but it was kind of a perfect perfect example of what I was talking about both sides coming together, because not only would I be picking his brain about the movement and about credit unions and everything else, but he was picking my brain about the technology and some of the up and coming things and things that he wasn't as familiar with, and we both got something out of that. That would be my biggest thing, is just reach out and find someone that you admire in the industry and just ask them, can we sit down and have a coffee? Can we, with technology now, there's no excuse. It could be somebody that's not even in your community that you can have a call with, have a Skype with, and just reach out to them and learn from them, but then realize they're going to get something back as well.
So I guess to add to that would be to realize that it takes a lot of work, but you get a return on that work in this industry. And that's I sort of just said that your efforts aren't thrown away. So if you can focus, a laser focus on something and realize that it's not going to happen immediately, but that it will come back around. Everything you put into it is going to come back out, because we're members of our credit unions, we're member owners, and we're employees, and we have the most interactive experience you can have at the credit union. So to see the full circle, and know it's a long game. It doesn't happen. I've heard that we've been doing this for a long time, and I think it's just going to take empowering the right group of people, and we'll have that tipping point.